In this analysis, I'm looking at units sold by these countries. Furthermore, I added a comparison a year to complete month of last year and this year. Also, you can see here I got a growth calculation actually inserted as a new calculated measure. This is something I've done from here, custom calculation, new calculated measure, and I used the syntax from this standard growth percent calculation, which I put into this calculated measure. Notice one thing, I needed to change my measure reference here, M1, in both places. Alright, having done that, I would actually change this crosstab into a different object type. I would like to change it into a horizontal bar chart like this. And, well, in fact, I don't want to see those two growth bars. So I go into Properties, Visibility, and disable the growth. It's still there, and actually I would like to see it when I do the mouse over function here. I would like to see the growth as well. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going into Chart Properties. I'm going to my labels, my mouse over. I'm going directly into my custom options here, and also directly into my advanced text editor. So there you go. I don't need that measure value. You see the entry is still here, but if I don't need it, I can actually go down here and flush the unused one. So now we got a clean sheet. So what I want to do is to insert something for some data for last year and this year and for the growth. But before I do that, I'll put in some fixed text here, a last year entry and a this year entry, like this, and also a growth entry. So those were just the fixed text. Now I want to put in the values. So you can see you can actually pick units sold and growth from here, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to put in a so-called lookup value. So I'll put in a lookup value for units sold. It becomes units sold 1 like this. And I'm going to do that one more time for this year. Units sold 2 is what you're seeing now. And also for growth, another lookup for that, lookup for growth. So there you go. Now, if I use the preview over here, you can see that I got a slight problem here. Last year and this year is the same value, and actually the value you're seeing is just from the bar that I'm pointing to. The growth seems to be okay though. Now over here, I actually created a new entry called Lookup Values. And here you see the two or the three lookups, units of 1 and 2. And instead of using dynamic columns, I'm going to use a fixed column for unit cell 1. So this is going to point to data from last year, and unit cell 2, fixed column, column 2 is going to point to data for this year. So now you can see that wherever you point, you actually see last year and this year data correctly. So that's more or less that. Last thing I might want to do here is to change the font size a little bit. So when I do this, now you got some nice mouse overs here, last year data, this year data, and also the growth as you see it here.